we are coming in. All right, so we are about, I'd say 1 hour out. There we go. Of actual, maybe 30 minutes out by now, of actual sundown. So we're almost at the entry point though. So hold on. All right, looks like the cars are all good. I don't know if you can hear that or not in the background. There it is. I was like, is there like a fair or something? Couldn't figure out what it was. And then when I was walking across the hill back there, I noticed there's like guard towers. There's like a prison facility or something over there. And there's people out in the yard and they're like yelling at them, telling them to move along, stop loitering in that corner, stop gathering over there, stop yelling at each other. All right, so I'm just waiting for these cars to clear. I've been here 3 times. And the first time I had some technical difficulties that made things like I just had to ditch. The second time, security guard showed up and was like, we don't want people taking pictures of the buildings. And so there are security guards that cruise up and down here. This is a big, it's like a medical facility, national facility. I mean, they make the vaccines and whatnot for, well, I mean, you know, for the thing. Well, they were. I don't know if they are anymore or not. I don't think they are. But they make like medical like things. So, okay, we're going in. Truck coming. There's a truck over there going by. This is kind of like a little divot though. Goes down in. We're gonna duck into these bushes here. All right, now that we're here, I'm gonna sneak into the woods here, and then we're gonna sit for a little bit and make sure that everything's cool, that nobody, you know, that indeed nobody saw me. There aren't any hidden cameras that I don't know about, so we'll sneak in. All right, so we're just gonna sit here for a little bit and make sure that everything's cool. I mean, I think it is. And then once that's done, we're gonna set up the hammock and a tarp. And then we'll take a quick step out into the field out there that's on the outside of us, and we'll see what we can see about what we set up. I don't think you really can, because I'm having a hard time seeing out into the field. There's like a little corridor right here that I came in through, but it's pretty dense in here. I mean, once you get inside here, it's not too bad, but there's like an opening in the middle, kind of. I really kind of like the denseness of this little spot in here. So plus it's got like a nice open spot in front of it so that I can see the wind turbine, and I don't have to really go too far to get some really good shots of it. So look at that. It's like a snail shell. He either succumbed to a bird or just gave up on his shell. It's crazy. Okay, so the trees were a lot further apart than I would have liked, so I had to use these little guys here. So hopefully that won't impact me too much. I did make sure that I put it really high so that way it would, you know, at least I'm high off the ground, but I don't expect any rain or anything like that. So I got my duck blind thing on there. Let me pull this over a little bit. I'm gonna have to adjust that, but there was a bigger tree on this side that I was able to get to, so. But that's that. So We got that set up. Let's go out and have a look and see if we can see it. Let me get out here in the open more. You hear it? All right, I don't know if you can hear that or not, but there's like a hawk or an eagle or something. I can hear it. I can hear it. I'm trying to see it. Yeah, it's pretty dark. I don't think you can see it. Yeah. I went in right through there, and it's just in that area there. But it doesn't look like it's visible at all. So ooh, I love that licorice tea. Have you ever had it? Most people don't like licorice, so. Licorice tea is like one of my favorite things. My grandfather used to love licorice. He would hide it all over the place. And he had licorice hidden in his desk at his garage. He ran a mechanic's garage. In his nightstand, in the garage, like at his house. He had licorice in the glove box of his truck. That man loved licorice. At a certain point, the doctor was like, eating licorice apparently will deplete your potassium levels. He ate so much licorice that the doctor was like, you're no longer allowed to have licorice. So stop eating it. And you're ordered to have a banana a day. Possibly two. And people knew it. They would give it to him all the time. He had like hard candy licorice. He had the kind of like Australian licorice and like, you know, the chewy, like twisted kind of licorice. And yeah. Yeah. And I inherited that from him. So I love I love licorice as well. Cheers. Oh. Licorice tea. All right, gang. We just had a security guard drive by, so I'm sitting quietly. I think that he left, but I'm not absolutely positive. So I'm just gonna give it a minute. I was just about to cook dinner when I heard a car drive by, and so I, kind of quieted off and everything and ducked down here a little bit. I mean, I'm kind of concealed. There's one side, the side behind me, that's, I had it because it was like a nice view. You got some blue sky and whatever while I was cooking tea, and I planned on cooking dinner with the same backdrop, and then I heard a car driving through, so I kind of moved out of the way a little bit. Not that I think that anybody could have seen me, but better safe than sorry, so I'm kind of sitting and waiting to make sure I don't hear anything. I'm waiting to make sure that everything's cool. And then we're gonna cook a brat. I got a brat with a pretzel bun and some sauerkraut. And then I figured we could have some macaroni and cheese, because I got some macaroni and cheese. It's microwavable, but I can work around that. So, all right, I'm gonna stand up and check real quick and make sure that we're cool, and then we'll get right back to it. Sorry about the lighting. This is a totally high risk spot. So, I got these cool little hard cases. So I got the brat and the other in here. I am going to fire up the grill again. Just gonna get some water in here. Gotta use a little bit more water than I want because I'm gonna be using the bag and boil trick to heat up the brat. Stay. All right. So, I've got my brat, and my brat is in here double bagged. Now, you want to make sure you squeeze as much of the air out of here as you possibly can. So that's going to require you taking and just putting the smallest little hole in there and then rolling this as tight as you can. And that's going to force all the air out. And you close that back up. I mean, if you have one of those food sealer processor things, you can seal it without any air in it too. The reason you don't want any air is because you don't really want it to boil. I mean, to float when it's in the thing. So I'm gonna take this. While this is heating, before it gets too hot, I'm gonna put this in. But I have Wisconsin pretzel buns. Got some mustard packets from the local convenience store. They were so kind to provide those. And so this is all ready. Right, while that cooks, this is Flavor Wave IPA. I think I hear a truck. We're gonna stealth crack this. So, get ready. Put the baffle on there. Ooh, smell very pineapple. It feels, it's very pineapple-y. Some pineapple and citrus I smell there. It's really good beer. I'm kind of happy about it. The turbine has changed direction. It was making a buzzing noise a little bit earlier. I didn't know what I was like, what's that buzzing noise? And then I like went over and looked, and I was like, oh, the turbine has changed direction. It's like it adjusted in a different direction. So pointed in a completely different direction. And it stopped for a little bit. I don't know if it has to stop in order to, I would imagine it would, huh? Yeah, it probably has to stop before it changes. I don't know if the wind changed direction or whatever. There's a lot of noise over there. I'm not liking that. It sounds like a loading dock kind of a noise though. I am familiar with the noises in my environment, but it has been really quiet here outside of that security guard that drove by and kind of parked out there for a little bit. I think this will be okay cooking in here, I'm pretty sure. You know, I had rice-a-roni, the San Francisco treat, and I put that in there, and I did the same thing. I've done that in the Jeep like a bunch of times, and it turns out fine. And it's, again, a microwave like meal. It was intended for microwaves, but I think if you think outside the box, I think you can cook these a bunch of different ways. So, or, you know, at least, you know, other than microwave, right? So, and that's what we're all about here, is thinking outside the box. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Most other people go to a campground and camp. They don't camp under a wind turbine in the bushes while security guards roam around, right? Last time I checked. I'm getting the impression that the macaroni and cheese is going to take a little bit longer than the brat's going to be ready, and then I'm going to be waiting on this. Okay. So, oh, look at this. So the macaroni and cheese is like, but I got the deluxe. So this has got a packet of actual cheese in it. So I don't have to wait for it to like all mix together. I mean, I kind of got to wait for the macaroni to square itself out, but other than that, dude. You hear that horn in the background? This is the loudest it's been. At least it's not the highway, right? I've got my headlamp underneath the thing. I thought I saw someone move over there. Or something move. My imagination, maybe. Or, you know, security guards will come rushing through the woods here at any moment now. And they will eat my brat and probably throw my macaroni and cheese on the ground, blame me for littering. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, so that part's good. Now, for my next trick. Hey, Rocky, watch me boil this macaroni. Oh, look at that. I took that brat out of there, the water immediately started. Alright, so come on, just that in there. Ooh, look at that. Alright, I'm gonna let that sit because that has to like hydrate that other stuff. Well, if I'd have known that this brat was gonna take so long, I'd have brought a 6-pack. No, not really, I wouldn't. Oh, someone's sneezing. It's a truck driver driving by sneezing. That's crazy. I don't know if you guys heard that or not. A truck driver was just driving by, sneezed, and he sneezed. You hear that? I hear coyotes. You hear them? They're like behind me somewhere. Do you think they smell my brats? All right, so I'm gonna check the mac and cheese. Ooh, wow. That's surprising. Those noodles probably could use a little bit more sitting, but they hydrated relatively quickly. Must be part of the process that they do for the microwaving stuff. So while that happens, get the cheese packet ready. This is perfect. If you have the Stanley Billy Pot, the little Stanley, you can see the holes there along the edge. That's for draining. So if you cook pasta in there, you can drain. That lid fits perfectly on top of Kraft Macaroni and Cheese Deluxe. I'm gonna dump the excess water out of there. I am going to take the cheese, which this is a complete bonus. I did not expect this. I expected it was gonna be like the powder stuff. Like when I was a kid growing up, they had like, you know, you open the box up, there was like a powder packet in there, you dump the powder packet in, you gotta mix milk in, you gotta mix margarine, butter in. The fan, I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. I'll like be quiet later and do some like recording of the actual like blades so you can hear it. But the blades spinning, they have this like rhythmic like woof. Yeah, it's like kind of like a quiet washing machine or like dryer, you know what I mean? It kind of like, it's kind of rhythmic. So that's that. I'm gonna put all that garbage in. I have enough stuff to effectively carry out any and all trash and anything that's in here. Oh, it's just cars on the road. Anything that's in here is all stuff that I made. I'm gonna mix this all in, and I'm gonna let this sit. Can you see it steaming? It's really hot. I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit. Ruh-roh, Yogi. Time for another beer. All right. The brat. Finally. I keep hearing talking, and I can't tell because there's buildings all around me. I'm down in like a divot, so I can see over there behind where you're looking at me. I can see when trucks come out of the thing, I can see them go and then they disappear because there's a big berm, big hill, and I'm down in. Like I can hear that. I don't know if you can hear that truck. I can see it there and then it disappears. And it doesn't reappear, I don't think, until over there somewhere. Can you hear the voices? I hear like voices, dude. I know I hear like a loading dock behind me, and I don't know if it's people over there on the loading dock talking. There's a building over there too. It's like an office building. I would think nobody would be there. It's an office. But there might be some night workers or something. Even though there's not any big salt nuggets on this pretzel bun, the pretzel is still, it was very pretzel-y. It's like baked into the skin probably. And the deluxe macaroni and cheese. I'm gonna have to like go around with the light and like make sure I get all the wrappers and stuff up. Ooh, yeah. See that? Can you see it? Mmm. Cheesy. It's truly deluxe. It had that little packet of cheese, like Velveeta cheese or whatever. Well, I'm gonna finish this stuff up. I don't see any lights. Hold on, I see a light. I don't know if that security guard's back or not. Or if that's just a street light and I am paranoid. 9 minutes in. All right. Dinner's done. I only have one beer left. I'm gonna wrap this stuff up. If you know me, you know my tenet about leaving stuff out overnight. That's a no-no. That invites critters into the camp and makes it so that if you gotta evacuate in the middle of the night, you gotta choose between the gear you love and a non-air conditioned jail cell. Probably not a jail cell. I'm exaggerating for drama. But I think that is a street light I see over there, but I'm better safe than sorry. What does Grandpa always say? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So I'm gonna get all of this stuff policed up, all the garbage taken care of, make sure that everything's clean, put everything away in the pack, get it all packed away. So the only thing that has to be taken care of when it's time to go, or if I have to go in a hurry, is to jam everything into the backpack and create a diversion. Yeah, so more momentarily, most likely a good night, I'm going to bed. Get the back. Yo. Alright guys, I'm all tucked in. I'm gonna go to sleep. Alright, I'll see you in the morning. Morning guys. Well, we made it through. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna go set the camera and get some sunrise, and then think about getting this packed up. So I find myself suddenly itchy. There were no bugs at all last night, so I mean an occasional moth when I turn on the light, but what about the sound of that windmill going? I'm sorry, wind turbine. that was something. That was kind of cool. So, well, if you guys enjoyed this, and I hope that you did, appreciate it if you would like and subscribe. If you have any ideas of anything that you'd like to see me do camping wise, then you could leave that down there too in the comments. I make an effort to answer all the comments that someone takes the time to comment. I take the time to answer it. So all right. That was close, but we're out. So we'll see you in the next video.